Hello, everybody. Gage says it's empty. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Thanks a bunch for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Today's beer comes from the Tilted Barn Brewery. These guys are up in Rhode Island. This is the other one. Guys, I reviewed this beer about 3 years ago. And unfortunately, it was a 10 beer and a 9 can because it didn't have a date on it. And I think it was sent to me by my beer brother Greg at the time. And he posted that some of the cans have dates and some of them don't. And fortunately, this one was sent to me by Peter. So Peter, thanks a bunch for the beer mail package you sent me. And this one does have a date on it right here on the top. They stamped it 10/21 of 20. For a lot of them, stamp it here in the center. They have a machine that puts it down here. And a lot of times you'll see it even on the silver part up here where it can be easily wiped away with your fingers. But they've got it on the label on this one. So hopefully, I don't know if they've corrected that problem, but Tilted Barn seems to have had that problem. Hopefully they've got it corrected now. And they need to put it either on the label like they have this one or under the bottom where it can't be smeared off. If you stamp it here on the silver part, and from the condensation and the fingers getting on it, it gets wiped away. So I don't know. We shall see. This was a very tasty beer at the time, so we'll see if it gets the same grade or better grade or worse grade this time. But it does have that on there. This is a 7.9%er, fairly big beer, double or imperial IPA, if you will. And Tilted Barn makes some really tasty stuff, guys. They really do. They just need to get their dating process under control where every can has something stamped on it in a place where it's not going to get wiped off. I had my biggest fuss when I did this 3 years ago. Some of their stuff had dates on it, some of them didn't. And you're not going to get the 10 from this guy if you don't have a date on it somewhere, especially in this style. Now, if you're doing some kind of stout, big stout or bourbon barrel, body wine or porter or something that's got big ABV, it's going to keep for a long period of time, as long as it's not been brewed with coffee or something that's going to fade. It's a difference. And I say this all the time. How would you like to buy a gallon of milk or a loaf of bread that didn't have any date on it? Because you wouldn't. You wouldn't. You wouldn't make that purchase. And it's probably a good thing. Dates are on packages, on food and beverages for a reason. And craft beer is no exception. The dating machine is just as important as the brew kettle or the hops and the malt that you're using, in my opinion. But again, that's just my opinion. So let's see what this one brings. It's been 3 years since I've done this one. Untapped says double IPA bursting with Citra and Mosaic hops, two of my favorite hops, and they have it at 83 IBUs, which is pretty good amount of IBUs. So this would not be super smooth. It's going to have a little bit of bitterness to go with it with that big of an IBU, but you know, I'm a big boy. I can handle those IBUs. This would not be the first double IPA that I would probably consider if I've never had one before, because there are some that have lower IBUs. It might be a little smoother, a little sweeter to drink. So we shall see, guys. Let's get to it. We've got the ABV, we got the IBUs, we got the canned on date. We had 10/21/20 plain Jane silver can with a stick-on wraparound label. Let's get it into the glass. Like I said, I was impressed with the last time, but the last one I had did not have a date on it. This one does. So maybe it'll get to 10. We shall see. Didn't pour a very big head, but I can fix that though. Alright, very colorful artwork on the label. A little more than a finger of head. Looks like a glass of orange juice, guys. Very impressive looking beer. Over to the light, I'm not getting any. Very cloudy. Looks like a New England style beer. It definitely does. Good looking beer. Like a glass of orange juice, don't you think? To the nose we go. Very nice. Very, very nice smelling beer. Oh, yes. I'm getting oranges, very citrusy notes. Hint of pine and grapefruit, maybe even some pineapple in there. Maybe even some mango or some other tropical fruit notes. Maybe even a hint of melon or some peaches in there. But with the citra hops, it's very citrusy. It smells awesome, guys. It really does. And again, as long as they can get their dating process under control, where all the cans have a dating on it, this is another brewery to be in the top 10 list, no doubt. So let's dive in and see what we got. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Peter. Thank you a bunch. I do appreciate it. That's super tasty. That's very, very delicious. Just as impressive as I remember it being 3 years ago. It does have more bitterness to it. 83 IBUs. I'm getting that on the palate. So if you don't like a bitter beer, this may not be what you would like. If you're used to drinking double IPAs, whether it's a New England style or whatever that have bigger IBUs. I've seen double IPAs over 100 IBUs before. So it's fair, but it's not overpowering. Alcohol is very well hidden. That is a very tasty beer, guys. That is a very, very tasty beer. Could we have 2 10s in a row? Very well possible. Let's do the back end pour here. The bitterness is there. I'm not going to lie to you. Even me, someone that's done over 4,000 beer reviews, I can detect that the IBUs are a little higher on this beer. So, but still, very pleasant to me. I would buy this beer if I could get it here. It's definitely in my go-to range at 7.9%, and in the style, New England style, very cloudy, very tasty, very prominent hop aroma and taste, very enjoyable. Let's try out the fridge, let's go sip on it, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Been smelling close to an hour now. Very tasty beer. Glad this one had a date on it. I did it 3 years ago, didn't have it. This one does. Hope they've corrected that problem and they're dating everything. And this one's dated on the label where it can't be smudged off. So, very well done. 2 thumbs up to the Tilted Barn for hopefully getting that corrected. But we shall see. Time will tell if I get any more beers sent to me from this brewery, because I can't get them here. And they have dates on them. So, we just can only hope that they've got it corrected. And I like how they've got it on the label here, where it can't be smudged off, and it's very easy to see, and you don't have to turn the can upside down to see it, and very, very nice. And I've seen that done before, but I've also seen them printed up here on the silver part of the can, where it can be smudged off really easy. So we shall see. Time will tell, guys. Again, thanks to Peter for sending me the beer mail package. Very tasty beer, Peter. I do appreciate the beer mail package. This is a very tasty beer. Like I said, I did it 3 years ago, and it was a 10 beer in a 9 can because the one I had then didn't have a date on it. This one does, so we're celebrating. It's a tasty beer, guys. Very tasty beer. So if you're in Rhode Island or somewhere where you can get your hands on this beer, I don't know what the distribution is, if there is any at all, if you got to buy it all at the brewery. Very tasty. Worth picking up if you like this style of beer. Final choke. Little sediment in the bottom of the glass. I'm going to swirl that around to get it off. And I did. Super tasty, guys. Very tasty beer. And again, could we have 2 10 beers in a row? Yes, we have. Another awesome beer. 10 for me, guys. Dates on it. Absolutely delicious. A little bit heavier IBUs, 83. So if you don't like a bitter beer, and when I say bitter beer, it's not super bitter. I mean, to me, it's not bitter at all. I can just tell those IBUs are a little stronger than a lot of the lower IBU beers, or something that's been brewed with some lactose that has a sweeter taste to it than some of the ones that have not been. But I find it very, very enjoyable, and I would buy this beer if I could get it here. It is very, very tasty to me, and I think the alcohol is well hidden for an almost 8%. So, over to Beer Advocate, they say 97, world class. Awesome numbers from those guys. And Untapped has it at 4.38. Definitely an A beer there. And upper A from Beer Advocate, I think it's upper A to me. It's almost Galaxy class. Matter of fact, it is Galaxy class. It's a 10. 100 for me. So if you've had the other one, this is the 2020 edition. I don't know how often they brew this beer, but this is the precious one that's out right now. So if you've had it, let me know what you think. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.